Hey everyone, it's Mark from Stocks and Cash. It's February 2nd, 2018. I'm going to give you a quick market update prior to the open of the bell. Didn't have a chance to post a video last night, but we'll get to it now. Just a quick look at the markets, holdings, and then some potential setups for today. So the first thing I guess I want to show is that the futures are down quite a bit in the markets. 0.6, zero point 0.3, and 0.9 about, respectively. I think this is a healthy pullback. I think we'll see a bounce, and I'll talk about that right now. So right now the S&P is supposed to open around 280. We closed at 281.58 yesterday. And you see we have this support level of 278.91 here, both at the 62% retracement level and the 21 EMA. So what I'd like to see is, that open, a pull back down to 279 or so, and then a bounce, and maybe a close above the low of yesterday's candle. That's what I'd like to see so that we could continue on with our bullish trend. Doesn't mean that's going to happen, but that would be ideal. Stochastics are bearish. RSI is still pretty high considering, and MACD is bearish as well, crossed over. So there is still some room for these indicators to come down even further. With our open, that should also drive them further to a kind of reset position. Reset in the sense that they'll have the opportunity to come back up when we rally once again. So again, I think we bounce here. That's kind of what I'm looking at. My trade setups are bullish. I do have one bearish position that I'll probably get out of depending on where it opens in the morning, take some profit on it. But let's look at the Qs. And we have a similar situation. It's kind of meandered the last 3 days. It's going to open a little lower. It'd be nice if it came down and touched the 21 EMA, which is at 165.83, so about 167. It's only about $1 from where we are right now. So, sorry, $2 from where we are right now. We're only opening down about 0.3% down, so it would have a lot to kind of retrace this morning before it bounces. But again, I do think it'd be healthy to come down and touch that 21 EMA and then continue on our way. Again, there's no guarantee that that's what's going to happen. That's just kind of my hopeful outlook. Stochastics bearish, MACD bearish, RSI bearish, still kind of in the at a high level here. Same with the Stokes. It'd be nice if they come down and reset like you've seen previously in the last few months. So looking for that bounce off the 21 EMA and continuing higher. So here are my positions. John Deere down 30%, STX down 15%. FedEx ended up closing for a small 2% profit, and I opened up a COG short at 4%. So we'll take a look at those. So looking at DE, you can see we opened around the 21 EMA, pulled below it and quickly rebounded. Although you can't see that it was quickly rebounded, but that is what happened. So because it opened low and kind of turned back around quickly, I didn't get stopped out. We did close below the 8 EMA, which is not a good sign, but the candle was rather strong. We're supposed to open down a little bit again today, but I'm hoping for a bounce and hopefully a close above the 8 EMA, and then retest this breakout level here of 170.68. Stokes are getting into a reset area where we could potentially start running back up. RSI is still kind of high, but it has been historically, at least over the last few weeks. It can reset, but that was a different time back here. We're kind of in a channel, but as we've ascended, essentially we've stayed above this level here. Dip below it here, and big dip here. And this is probably earnings. Um, but in general on this rally up, we haven't come too much lower than where we're at now. So um, I'm not too worried about the RSI. Um, I think DE does still have a potential to kind of rebound and move up. Let's take a look at Seagate. So Seagate had an ugly day on Wednesday, kind of another ugly day yesterday. Still in the trade, still above the 8 EMA, still above the breakout level, so I'm not too worried about it. I am a bit concerned about the MACD starting to roll over. Stokes are starting to become bearish, and RSI is pointing down. Still in the overbought area, so but again, it can live up here. It can live in the overbought area. But I am a bit concerned about Seagate. I'd like to see a nice strong close above one of these three candles here, and then continue on upward. Um, but we'll see if that actually plays out. FedEx. So FedEx opened down and touched this 32% retracement. I would have loved to have gotten out, but it literally opened there, meandered for just a couple minutes, and then took off. Um, so I did unfortunately miss getting out of FedEx for a nice profit. I saw that kind of evaporate and actually have you know, a loss for some time during the day. It hit the 8 EMA, which acted as resistance, and then it ended up closing down here around just above the 50% retracement line. So um, I was fortunate to, not take a big loss up here. Unfortunate to not, you know, take my profit when it opened, but it moved so quickly. I just honestly didn't react properly to get out. Um, but 2% gain is better than a loss. So um, overall, not too disappointed with FedEx. Um, COG had kind of a hammer candle pattern, which could signal a reversal. So I'm going to watch this closely. I would like to see us get down to the 127 extension level. Not sure if we'll actually get there, but my stop would be at the breakout level here of $26, um, in some sense. Um, we're far away from the exponential moving averages. I think they need to, the stock price needs to catch up with them in a sense. So I don't think we're going to see a huge gap down. It might meander here and then come back down, but um, you know, COG is definitely bearish. I'd love to see it, like I said, get to this extension level. We'll see if that plays out. Taking a look at some potential setups for today. Facebook had a really nice day yesterday. We closed right on our target of 193.08. Facebook is a relatively strong stock that's seen a nice continual uptrend. I mean, most stocks have, especially over the last year or so. But Facebook's in a really nice uptrend, kind of consolidated here, so I think it has an opportunity to run up even higher. Um, Again, we closed right about at our target here. What I'd be looking for is the 5-minute rule. We open up whatever the high of that first candle is. If we close above it on the next 5-minute candle or some other 5-minute candle in the day, you could get into the trade long. We may come and back test the breakout level, which would give us an opportunity to get back in, not necessarily today, but maybe on Monday or Tuesday. But I do think Facebook continues to rally and go higher eventually. Even if it's not today, I think early next week we should start getting higher to our second target of 198.2. MasterCard is another potential play. It had earnings yesterday. So normally, this gravestone shooting star type candle pattern, I wouldn't be wild about. And I'm still not really wild about it, but MACD is still bullish. RSI is bullish, although overbought. and the Stokes are trying to cross back over bullishly. Um, I think this would be another 5 minute candle type play. Um, I do think MasterCard is a strong stock. It also has had a really nice uptrend over the last year and a half or so, and I think it has the opportunity to push higher. Maybe we bounce off the 100%, the breakout level here, and move higher. Maybe we just kind of keep on going up. But I do like MasterCard here, and again, it depends. The markets could drag these stocks down. Facebook and MasterCard, but um, ultimately, I think they'll end up moving higher. J.P. Morgan is another one. Oops. That's had some nice performance. Um, it hasn't been as straight up, um, you know, as Mastercard or Facebook. It's kind of had some erratic movements, but now it looks like we're in a nice uptrend. Um, we had a nice bullish candle yesterday after a couple of indecision candles. We're still above the 8 EMA. Um, the MACD is hanging on to being bullish. Stokes are trying to turn up, and the RSI is as well. So I think at the end of today, if we get a close above 117.56, this is a good opportunity to get in and see us potentially rally up to 120.3 and then 123.84. Again, it would be a decision you'd make at the end of the day on how J.P. Morgan, you know, behaves in today's market, given the open being down. Tesla, favorite stock to talk about. So you can see, as I said yesterday, I believe, you know, starting from here, we had um, a high of 347.4. Then we had a lower a higher low, a higher high, higher low, and now we've kind of potentially had a double top here. I'm not saying that it is a double top, but you had an opportunity to take profits here at our target one. Trim your position. You had a second opportunity to trim your position. Um, Not to say that this thing's going to roll over or anything. I'm not actually sure where it's looking to open up, given that the markets are down overall. Since the Nasdaq's only down, I think Tesla's part of the Nasdaq. I might be misspeaking, but we're still above the 8 EMA. We're now above our breakout level of 347.4. I'm not in panic mode here, but it would be interesting to see what Tesla does today. You could look at it as either an opportunity to get back into Tesla if you're not in it yet to try and get to our second target here. Or you could look at it as, maybe I want to put my stop at the low of this candle, preserve your gains or minimize your losses, and find another opportunity to get in. Or, you could be confident and put your stop below the low of this hammer candle. If you are confident that Tesla is going to go up. Again, I don't own Tesla, or any options, but yeah, I mean this was a shooting star type candle. It's an indecision type candle. Could potentially be bearish based on the pattern that plays out after it, but I'm not predicting doom and gloom necessarily. I'm just saying be careful of your position. Trade with your plan. And hopefully you were able to trim some of your position at the high of yesterday's candle. That about wraps it up for this morning. I will definitely post something on Sunday before the Super Bowl from Monday's market. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to post them in the comments section. Thanks and have a great weekend.